But we just dealt with that. See? Now, let's turn somewhere so you can understand where we're going and understand this concept. Let's turn to Romans 12. Let's see, Romans 12. Romans 12, and I think we all should know it by heart. And let me start off by reading verse number 1. Okay, it says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable, unacceptable to God, which is your reasonable service. And do not be conformed to this world but do not be conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. Foundational verses, we've read them tons of times, and I want to go over it again and using these verses about what I'm teaching and preaching this morning. What you got to understand is this. Now the Bible talks about be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. What? When you deal with an identity crisis or an identity issue, transforming your mind and renewing your mind comes to the point of this. You're going to have to get a lot of the religious views that you have already gained in your mind and take them out and then begin to think different. Has nothing to do with already being saved. Has nothing to do with how long you've been saved and how much word you know. Hear me well. Has nothing to do with how much word you know. Has nothing to do with how long you've been saved. This has to do with identifying with yourself in Christ the way you're supposed to, based on your gift, call, and character in Him. Not how long you've been saved and how much word you know. Because you can know a lot of word, and a lot of the word you know as you bound by religious views. See? Have you bound by religious views? And what you're doing is you're actually operating in religion and don't know it, while you're even quoting scriptures and know it. When you come to the place of understanding your identity in Him, you get to know yourself just like you just got saved. It's like, wow. It's like you're starting over in a sense. It's like you're starting over in a sense because you're getting to know yourself in a whole new light. It's like you're starting over. It's just like that light bulb. Bing, it just goes off. And a whole new insight and revelation comes to you about you. Not sin, not the mess, not the drama, the issue, not that. Just your identity in Him. See? Your identity in Him. See? And we have a crisis. Because that really means this. That means this. If you was taught and you learned incorrect views about you, then guess what? You cannot fully embrace your season right. Your new season right. You can't. You cannot. You see? You cannot. Because the new season involves the new mindset that you're supposed to have to embrace it, to enjoy it, to receive it. Because every year has something God was saying, and many didn't even dare enjoy that. Why? It's a reason why. We don't want to be in 2012 in December getting ready to cook Christmas dinners talking about we're in dawn. Cutting turkey in November saying we're in dawn. Remember what I told you? That the dawn season can be extended through this whole year. I think I'm telling you the truth. Your dawn season can extend through this whole entire year. The choice is yours. But you said, hold on now, Pastor, because I remember someone teaching. I thought you said that God will override state and do something. We said we're teaching on the realms of abundance and fullness, not just certain blessings. Remember that? Because we're going to be blessed to a degree. And there's certain blessings that's going to come. Hear me? But we're not teaching in that realm. That's just a form of blessing. We're talking about the fullness and abundance. That means what you're supposed to maximize and receive. See it? So don't get happy and go lucky When you receive something, you rejoice and we thank God for it. But remember, if you talk about the new season and the fullness of the season, if you want that, then understand what it entails. See? You get one little blessing and think, whoa, that's fine. We are to rejoice. We are to rejoice. We are to rejoice. I'm not saying don't rejoice. We are to do that. Don't get me wrong. But what I am saying is, you decide whether you want the full season or not, and don't just stop thinking I'm supposed to look and be super happy like you are when I see you want to receive 1% out of 100. I rejoice with you for the 1%, but I know that you're still robbing yourself of 99. So in a lot of cases, I'm just going to look. I'm talking about me personally. I want to speak about me. I'm going to look at a lot of cases, okay. That's all. If I know the 100 ain't there, the 100% ain't there, okay. Because you might embrace yours before I embrace mine. I'm just saying. I can't judge and say, I get mine first. You might go ahead of me. But I plan on enjoying my season. That's my plan. Now, it's up to me whether I want to act crazy. Musician ain't got nothing to do with you enjoying it. And musician has nothing to do with you embracing it. It does not. Has nothing to do with that. Many leaders, pastors, prophets, bishops, apostles will be skipping right over it. And it can be me if I mess up and act crazy if I want to too. I'm no different than no one else. See? But we have to decide whether we want the fullness of our season or not. But you have to identify with yourself. Who are you? Who are you really? And I'm not talking about your address and your name. Let's deal with some of these areas. See? In the new season, with this identity crisis, let's deal with these. Let's deal with some of these definitions. To identify means to consider as identical or unified. To consider as identical or unified. Watch this. If that's the case, do you know that your new season is going to identify with who you really are, and you're going to be one with it? And your season will reveal you. Please tell me I'm making sense. Your season is going to reveal you. That means what he's saying is, because of your character and who you really are, this is what your season is going to entail right here. And you're going to know who you are through your season. Yes, you are. You're going to know who you are through your season that you embrace, if you receive it. You're going to know who you are through it. You're going to know. So now watch this. A crisis is a crucial or decisive point or situation. A crucial or decisive point or situation. And then it also means a turning point. Okay, you say a turning point. Do you know that many are at the point now where they need to make a turn? See the point? What did I tell you that, watch this, what did I tell you that the ending last stage of dawn is? Remember what I told you? I said the last stage of dawn is to be broken. Remember that? Because what he's doing in dawn? He's finalizing purification, remember? So the last stage of dawn is to be broken, because it's what? The break of what dawn? So the break of dawn is to be broken, which is the last stage of dawn, to step from dawn into what we call the new full season. So if that's the case, if we're in the last stage of dawn, that means we're supposed to be in the last stage of being broken to embrace the full season. So if we can't be in the last stage of dawn, fight it. This is the place of humility right here. Do you know this is the place of extra humility right now? Extra humility. I mean humility to the extreme. Why? Because this is the last stage that God has us in dawn. Because the last stage of dawn is broken, being broken. So when you're being broken in the last stage of dawn, that is the finalized purification to step over. Just step over. See? So guess what now? Watch this. Watch this. That means that is the turning point. Because many don't understand the last stage of dawn is also a crisis or an identity point where there needs to be a turning. Because guess what? The turning comes from what? Finalizing purification. You see it? It's finalizing, meaning completing the process of purifying and cleansing and washing and taking away. So if that's the case, that means he's finalizing purification in the last stage of dawn, which is to break and to end up broken and to be able to fully embrace and come forth in a way whereas we're showing forth great humility and submission unto God, that he will now trust us to step into the next place, which is the new season. You gotta understand where you are now. Right here. Understand. It's like a line. You gotta see the line and understand what has to happen before you cross the line. It's just that simple. It's just that simple. We have to understand where we are. We have to understand. See? Now, the next thing is this. These are some of the areas that shows where we are. Because remember, the secondary question was, do your character determine or reveal your type of season? See? Does it reveal that? Does it reveal that? Let me tell you what I mean by that. Let's look at some of these areas. Let's look at dedication and faithfulness. Dedication and faithfulness. Dedication and faithfulness. Now, when we look at dedication and faithfulness, and you might say, now what does that have to do with identity? Let me explain it to you. Let me explain it to you. Your identity in the area of faithfulness and dedication is going to show forth unto God who you are and your character to reveal the season. See, in other words, it's this. How can, this is what God said, your dedication and faithfulness in reference to your character, whether you have it or don't have it, it's going to show forth what I can trust you with in the new season I give you. Watch this. Because if you're not faithful and dedicated, what it shows is God said in the area of being able to trust you in certain arenas, I can't. So if that's the case, your identity is to show that in your character is the fact, is a lack of faithfulness and dedication. So if there is a lack of dedication and faithfulness, what he's saying is, when I put you in a new season, there's certain things I will place towards you based on blessing you, because you could blow it and make it look bad. So for that reason, certain blessings I will put in your way, because it's going to require dedication and faithfulness to keep it or maintain it or enjoy it. Get it now? So you say, oh, I see now. That's a part of your identity. He's showing you with your season. There's an identity crisis. So that means we need to now stop for a second and say, who am I? Who am I? No, not your name. Not where you live. Who am I? This is the place now to find out who you are. Your identity and your character. And there's an identity crisis in the kingdom. And many don't know who they are. Nothing to do with just being anointed only. But it's knowing your identity and your character and who you are and the true sense of who you are, but also your identity pertaining to who God has made you to be inwardly, spiritually. See? And if you don't know who you are, you can't go to a new season embracing the fullness of a new season, because you won't understand this season. Because if you can't understand yourself, you can't understand your new season. God bless and honors new season in the fullness of new season according to clarity of the mind and spirit based on identity unto him. You can't go into the next season confused. You can't go into the next season confused. You must know. You must understand. You must identify with who you are. And when you identify with who you are, then can you identify the essence of your season. Because your season is going to reveal you. So you say, okay, faithfulness and that. Okay, well, I understand that. Watch this now. The next one. The next one we have is the love walk, or the area of love. See, if your love walk is not in place, what God will say, your identity is to make, for you to understand your identity pertaining to your character. And for you to understand your identity according to your character, to understand that your love walk is sporadic, or what we call chaotic, or up and down. For that reason, in your new season, I'm showing you that I won't be able to fully trust you in the area of showing the love I desire for you to show, because your love walk was not together even in the dawn season. So for that reason, I need you to stop while you're in the last stage of dawn and check your heart, so you can understand your identity. See? Knowing, that means know your heart. The Bible says what? The Bible says, who can know the heart? Who can know it? It's deceitful. And it's wicked. Who can know it? That means when you least expect, it can fool you. But guess what? It's best to at least know your heart in the area, even if it's negative. Unforgiveness, hate, lack of love, you don't want to show love, grudges, whatever it may be, at least you know it and can identify with you pertaining to your heart. See, the identity part has nothing to do with just saying, I know my daughter. That is a part of identity, but also part of identity is the negative part of who we may be, but may not learn how to accept and acknowledge to get what? In the last stage of dawn, broken. Because remember what we said? Remember what we said now? The finalizing of purification, which is the last stage of dawn. So if you can't identify with it, you're still going to go and try to go into your new season struggling with your heart. And God said that's not going to happen. Because remember, the last stage of dawn is the purification and brokenness stage, so that you can step in the right way. And this is why he will hold us back intentionally. Not out of not wanting to give us, but for the sake of saying, do you understand the stage that you're in? This is why in the broken stage, in the finalizing of purification, that's why it needs to be super humility. It needs to be prayer, it needs to be reading of the word, and it needs to be a type of submission unto God that like never before. Because the last stage of dawn, he's really testing your spirit, he's really testing your heart, he's really testing you like never before. And what he's saying is, this is the stage right here is going to prove whether you step in. Oh yes. This is the stage right here that's going to prove whether you step in. Oh yes. The next one we have is hospitality. See, some people are not ready to share. So you might say, what all this have to do with the new season? It has a lot to do with it, I'm going to tell you now. See, everybody, there's going to be distinctions in the new season based on the blessings and what he do. Distinctions. Now, these things relate because everybody's trying to speak hospitality on one accord, and we can't. See, because realistically, when we invited those people over, you were really mad that they got the last soda out the fridge. You really was mad that they got the last apple juice. You really was mad that they got the last one. You were not really willing to share that last one. You really wanted the last one, and you got mad that they got the last apple juice. You really was mad that they got the last Pepsi. Watch this now. I'm going to show you something. Pastor, you're getting kind of elementary. I'm going to show you how it relates. How God sees seasons. See, because we keep thinking that things is this big thing, and God sees all these little things you think nothing of. Yeah. So all these things you think nothing of is what I'm looking at.
Little thing.
And so he's saying, you know what? In this new season, everybody's talking hospitality, but a lot of people don't have hospitable hearts and spirits. They're not hospitable. They don't want you in their house. They don't want you in their car. They don't want to share anything with you. If it's a meal in a pot, I'm gonna ask you a piece of chicken for me. When you have a hospitable spirit and heart, and willing to be hospitable, you're willing to share one.
Yeah.
If need be, you give up both, because you might still be able to find yourself some ramen noodles in the cabinet and you need it. And you know, ramen noodles, 2 more pieces of barbecue chicken in there. I'm not giving my chicken. No, it's ramen. You survive. They have nothing. You got ramen noodles to go to. Give them the chicken.
That's true.
So there's going to be distinctions. Everybody don't have no hospitable heart or spirit. They don't. If that's the case, so how everybody talking hospitality? Everybody not hospitable. And this is why everybody don't need to serve in certain capacities, because they don't have the right spirit. Seriously, whether you're ushering, whether it's serving in the kitchen, whether it's fixing food, it's rude to the children, just make the kids cry. Make the kids scared to go back to the kitchen. Make them scared to go right in this axe full of water. This is so mean. Put that water back, boy. It's plenty of water will be left when everybody finished. When everybody finished, there could be plenty of bottles of water left. Okay, so what? They want a second water. Maybe they're trying to drink a lot of water.
Yeah, true. That's so true.
See?
True. Yeah.
And see,
Yeah, that's true.
we want to say the new season, but the new season,
Yeah.
it identifies with our character.
Yes. See, yeah, true.